Today I've come to Wembdon Road Cemetery in Bridgwater. The first thing I notice as I come through the gates is the number of war graves immediately in front of me. I can see 6 without moving more than a couple of steps inside the front gate. The first one I see is leading aircraftman F. Kima, Royal Air Force, 1940, age 39. Close by is driver J.F.H. Burge, Royal Army Service Corps, 1944, age 32. And then the family have added at the bottom, "The blow was great, the shock severe, to lose the one we love so dear." Company Sergeant Major C. Wilcox, DCM, Somerset Light Infantry, 1919, age 26. And at the bottom we have Russian Order of St. George. He lived for sport, he died for sport, and always played the game. I won't try and do all of the war memorials, but there's another 3 here. I'll pick out 1 or 2 more as we go through. Just inside the gate is this very large memorial. This is to James Cook, Justice of the Peace and for 9 years Town Clerk of Bridgwater. This one is easy to read. It looks as though the inscription has been repainted in the last 20 or so years. In affectionate remembrance of Emma Ann, the wife of Henry Bond, 1867, age 49. And then Elizabeth, the wife of Henry Bond, who died in 1880. So there are his 2 wives, but no sign of Henry Bond himself. A tall pointed column, and the inscription on the base, on the front face, is for Fanny Inman Tucker, 1891, age 53. And a bit more on the left hand side, also in memory of William Tucker, 1899, and his beloved son Harvey Tucker, 1903, deeply regretted by his friends. We have an angel on this one with her wings open, and if we pan down to the base, it's to Raymond John, the beloved second son of Charles and Ivy Greedy, passed away 1931, aged just 12 years. And further down we've got Charles Greedy, and there are inscriptions on the other sides, presumably for his mother, and so on. This has an urn on top, or at least I think it's an urn draped in a cloth, and it is to various members of the Lott family. On this face we remember Henry George Lott, 1890, age 37, and then his wife, who died some 26 years later. On the other faces we have other members of the Lott family. An elaborately carved cross, and this is for Brenda, the dearly beloved daughter of John Loosemore and Mary Tripp, 1877 born, 1902 died, aged 25 years. And beneath that we've got John Loosemore Tripp, died 1914, and on the other faces we have other members of the Loosemore family. Here we have an angel with the wings open and a wreath, and as always with these angels we have 1 foot protruding from the bottom of the gown, And we scan down to the inscription, and it's Perry James John, son of Joseph and Florence Davis. I think that's a very stylized Davis. 1903, age 22. Lower down we have other members of the family. If we look up again at the angel, you can see that round about her knee it has had a crack at some time and has been repaired. This one is to members of the Ploughman family, and these large trees that you see behind it appear to have been planted in the plot, presumably as little shrubs decades ago, and now they're really overpowering the area. On a curbstone here, to the memory of Trumpet Major J. Palmer, 1915, aged 85. I think that's the first trumpet major I've come across. Here we've got a similar interpretation of the angel, only this one has the wreath coming away from her body, and we're actually seeing 2 feet. I often see that. And the first inscription is to Albert Bowring, 1930, and then we have others beneath that. Further into the graveyard, another war grave. Lieutenant R.C. Simmons, Army Service Corps, 1915. On this one we have a mournful young lady clutching a cross which has been a little bit broken over the years, and down on the horizontal stone, Emma, the beloved wife of Clifford Simmons, 1859. This is to John Bird Alexander, 10th of May 1895, and on each face we have this insignia. Looks like a very simple coat of arms, but it's shown on all 4 faces of this tomb. This has been laid up against an earth bank, but it lists numerous members of the same family. Thomas Sully, JP of Bridgwater, 1861, Elizabeth his wife, Martha their 3rd daughter, Marion and Alice Sully, their infant grandchildren, Thomas Stote Sully, Grace Elizabeth, and a number of other names further down. You've got the whole family tree on this stone. There's a large vault type tomb here, partially underground, the only one of its kind in the graveyard. It's covered with inscriptions on all sides, most of them quite badly eroded. The surname seems to be Brown, with an E on the end. Another of the larger tombs, and again very badly eroded. The inscriptions have gone completely, apart from on the top. It looks like a recent addition of the name Tamlin. A pair of stones here standing next to each other. The common name seems to be Metford. On the left we have Jane Elizabeth Metford, 2nd daughter of William and Sarah Metford of Bath. On the right, if you look further down, you can see the 3rd daughter of William and Sarah Metford mentioned. So this is a pair of large granite stones with various members of the Metford family. A good clear inscription, Maria, the beloved wife of Thomas Perrott, later of Stringston, 1894, age 65. And then Thomas Perrott, her husband, who died in 1908, I think, aged 86 years. As we go back into the graveyard, we find even more of these war graves. W.G. Vickery, private, Royal Welsh Fusiliers, November 1919, age 26. As I look around the graveyard from here, I can see more of these war graves. One, two there between those two dark trees. I'm panning around. There's another one over there. 3 more over there. 1 there. 2 more over there. That's a tremendous price this area had to pay, with all these young men gave their lives. This chap, James Chorley, has left a message for his wife in the epitaph beneath. It reads, "Farewell, dear wife, my life is past. Faithful I loved you till the last. Pray on, my children, pity take, and love them for their father's sake." I'm sure she loved them for her own sake, but there she is beneath. She died 10 years later, and another name at the bottom there. I believe there is a society of friends for this cemetery who do a lot to look after it. It gives the feeling of a cemetery that's been recovered from pretty poor state. And they have a website, so if you're interested in this cemetery, check them out on the internet. I believe they have also indexed all the stones. Gertrude Emily, the wife of Reginald R. Rowe of East Bower, 1916, age 30. And then beneath that his brother, C.J. Howard, killed in action 1918, interned at Angers Cemetery in France. And then beneath that, Ellen Howard. It's a shame C.J. Howard hasn't got his full name there. We'd like to know a little bit about him. Company Quartermaster Sergeant R. Roberts, Canadian Forestry Corps, 1919, aged 33. This one's been done in black marble. John Snell Ellicott, born 1870, died 1930. Then Betty Snell Ellicott, his youngest daughter, she 1946. Then Mary Matilda Ellicott, 1948. Unusual to see the black stone in this graveyard. I think it's the only one here. Cecil W.G. Hawkes, who died of wounds the 1st of 4th, 1939, HMS Edinburgh. Another seaman, A.C. Walters, SS Tanfield, 1919, aged 19. A large plot with 5 substantial and identical tombs, but unfortunately I can't see a name anywhere, but clearly a family, and a family of some means to be able to afford this size. Well, I'm going to call it a day now. This graveyard gives the impression of having not been looked after for a very long time, but now attempts are being made to recover it. It's worth a visit. It's not large, but it's a pleasant enough place to explore and see the memorials. Amazing number of war memorials for the size of the graveyard. So till the next time.